Hello and welcome to our review of the Park MGM Hotel in Las Vegas. This will be the first in what we hope is a series of Las Vegas hotel reviews. We have stayed in pretty much every Las Vegas hotel by now and are looking to bring you a series of reviews to help you find the best. Park MGM was our latest stay and we based ourselves here for our recent Vegas trip. With a central location, upmarket finishing, fantastic dining options and loads of things to see and do, it's a great choice and one that tends to come in pretty competitively on the budget front, especially for a 4-star hotel. It's not perfect though, and there were some issues with our stay, so let's take a look. We booked the hotel through our own booking partner, FORA. Their prices were coming in cheaper than even the budget booking platforms such as Booking.com and came with a bunch of nice perks such as early check-in, late checkout and $100 to spend on food and beverages. After our initial booking, the prices actually dropped and we were able to rebook for an even better rate, which was nice. If you want to access these great rates and valuable perks, then head on over to usatraveladvisors.co.uk and let us book your perfect trip for you. You'll find a link in the description and above, and remember, we are not limited to the Park MGM and can get fantastic rates and perks on many Las Vegas hotels, and all across the country and the world for that matter. We arrived pretty late into Vegas, flying in business class on BA's new Club World Suite. There's a full review of that in the description below, but this means we could not make use of the early check-in. Never mind, we headed straight to the check-in desk and were quickly seen to with essentially no queue, which is to be expected as it was now after 10 PM. But even at very busy check-in and check-out times, the desk always seemed to be coping. Room upgrades are based on availability, and we were not offered a specific upgrade, but we were given a high floor with a nice view out over the pool / city centre complex. And we also had the perks of visiting via our FORA preferred program explained to us at check-in. Our room was excellent. These are not the biggest rooms, being 30 years old. This hotel still has some pretty old design standards, so the rooms come in at just over 400 square foot. But with the recessed bed area, they do feel reasonably large and still manage to have a fairly decent living space as well as the bed. It is in no way a suite, but feels a touch more spacious than other rooms we have stayed in Vegas. We love the artwork, and the fixtures and fittings and decor all have an expensive luxury feel about them. The rooms are fairly dark even during the day, but overall felt solid, well made and very fresh and renovated. The bathroom was really nice, with the red tiling giving a nice boutique style feel to it. Again, spotlessly clean and fresh smelling. There was a notable absence of a desk or work style space, but the dining table could double as that, as it did in our case. The TV was acceptable without being thrilling, but we are not in Vegas to watch TV. The whole entertainment area was very sparse, with no real amenities. The minibar was little more than a few snacks and some water, which is actually nice, as we always avoid Vegas minibars like the plague. The bed was excellent, with very plush linen and a great place to pass out after a day exploring Sin City. The views were only so-so. This is one of the better views with a high floor and views out over the city centre complex, but we have had better, and with the small windows, this is not a hotel to come through for that epic Vegas view. Overall, the rooms are really nice, without being spectacular. We were looking not to spend too much and got exactly what we needed, just without some of the bells and whistles of some other Las Vegas resorts. Our room was a Park MGM King, but we were told this was actually the upgraded Park MGM King Strip View, but we are not so sure, the only difference being the view. These are the base rooms at the hotel, and they also come in a twin room arrangement. The room lineup here is really simple. Apart from the standard rooms, there are just the stay well floors that are the same rooms but upgraded with well-being amenities such as air purification, upgraded mattresses, showers, mood lighting and aromatherapy. It's a nice upgrade, but we would not pay a lot more for it as we mostly find it all a bit gimmicky. Then, the only upgrades from here are the suites. These are not the largest on the strip, and really, unless you really want the extra space, 700 square foot instead of 406, then we would save the extra money for something else. The first big selling point of the Park MGM is the smoke-free casino. Well, we know this is not for everyone. We loved the clean air and ash-free slot machines. The breathability on the casino floor is notable the second you walk in, and had a scent and aroma unlike any other Vegas casino. While high-end casinos use expensive extraction systems and perfume to mask the smell of the smoke, it's always there, and your clothes become impregnated with the odour. Here, it's all just a bit fresher. The location is also really central, with most of Vegas's top attractions in striking distance. It's a little further from the fountain area, which we consider the centre, but it's well within striking distance of many of Vegas's best attractions. Also, unlike the Aria and other city centre resorts, the resort spits you right out onto the Strip, which is much more convenient than the long hike you have to take right from the back of the Aria. We love the dining options here and found the pool to be really nice. More on both of those coming up. The resort is also pretty compact, which is again nice. From your room, you can be out on the Strip in under 5 minutes. Some of the larger resorts, it could take up to 15 minutes just to get out of the hotel, and that assumes you don't get lost. Overall, it was a really nice place to stay, but it's not perfect. One of the big downsides is the lack of pizzazz. If this is your first time in Vegas, we wonder if this is going to be the sort of impact you would expect from a Las Vegas casino resort. It feels much more like a regular hotel rather than a crazy Vegas-themed hotel that the city is famous for. For regular visitors, this is less of an issue, but for that Vegas wow factor, it just falls a touch short. The views from the rooms are also pretty subpar. The towers are not that high and the windows are pretty small, with less than ideal orientations. So if a great view of the city is high on your list, you might be better avoiding the Park MGM. The rooms also have a bit of an older feel to them. Sure, they are pretty modern in terms of finish, but the style is just a bit dated. But compared to similar resorts in the mid to low range, they're actually way nicer. Really, the downsides are pretty few, and we thoroughly enjoyed our stay. It's a bit of an overlooked gem, to be honest. There are some great food and drink options. First out to bat is the ever-popular Eataly, an Italian-themed food court offering really fresh Italian food at fairly reasonable prices. It's situated right at the entrance, making leaving or arriving at the hotel without grabbing an Aperol Spritz pretty challenging. Best friend is Roy Choi's Las Vegas restaurant and offers Korean fusion-style street food, which is pretty incredible. If you don't know, Roy Choi is the inspiration behind the film Chef, so his presence at the Park MGM has led to the opening of the Chef Truck, which has amazing Cubana sandwiches on offer. We also tried La La Noodle, which was seriously good, and the Crack Shack, which serves some fantastic chicken sandwiches right on the Strip. Even the pool food was pretty epic, with our nacho plate being too large to even finish and getting plenty of comments from envious passers-by. There are also some higher-end options, such as the Nomad Library and the Bavette Steakhouse, but we didn't get to try these on this trip. There isn't actually that much going on in the resort as far as things to do goes, but the location puts you right in the heart of everything you might want to see and do in the city, so just head out of the resort. The Dolby Live Theatre is attached to the hotel, and this hosts various concerts throughout the year, and there is also the On The Record nightclub, one of the few remaining night spots on the Strip. It's also really close to the T-Mobile Arena, which is great if you're wanting to catch a Knights game or one of the various events that take place in there. The pool was a real surprise. It doesn't really come across as a great pool area. We had spotted it from our last stay in the Aria and thought it looked pretty dark and dingy, and even from our room it looked pretty dull, but actually we really liked it. There is a good variance of sun and shade and plenty of available seating and a selection of pools with some really nice planted gardens. The reserved lounge chairs and cabanas were really good value, but we were not having a full pool day, so we didn't plump for these, instead making use of the plentiful free seating options. Overall, we were really happy with our stay in the Park MGM. We really love the fact it's smoke-free, but understand for some, that's a big instant no. But there is the rest of the Strip for anyone wanting to smoke, and just this one little oasis away from the smell. The small, compact resort packs a lot into its tiny footprint, and we had everything we need in resort, and perfect access to everything else just outside the door. It really was hard to fault, and really a hidden little gem. And it's also pretty keenly priced considering, with us laying out only $930 for a 4-night stay on a weekend that was really gouging the prices due to the Electric Daisy Carnival being in town. The likes of the Venetian and the Bellagio were double this. The only real downside is its lack of ostentatiousness. It's pretty subtle and relaxed, but that's fine for repeat visitors. It just might not live up to the hype some first-time or occasional visitors may expect when hitting Sin City. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as we have loads of Vegas content coming up, along with all our adventures across the states. Thanks for watching.